If you're like me, you've probably seen a lot of other YouTubers and clickbait thumbnails showing you how you can make tons and tons of money on the Deeper network. Unfortunately, I have done a lot of research and a lot of trial and error and a lot of things to pull my hair out to bring to you to hopefully give you a more realistic expectation. Stay tuned.
Nerdy dude stuff.
For those of you keeping track at home, today's beer of the day is the Imperial Pumpkin, Head of the Horseman. Woo! Brought to you by D9 Brewing Company. This is a super strong pumpkin ale, 10% alcohol by volume. And man, look at that dark coloring. This is one of the best pumpkin beers I've ever had. Tastes like pumpkin pie in a glass. That's gonna get you crunk for the Halloween season. Cheers to you guys. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video about at-home mining, because that's what we're talking about. If this is your first time here on the channel, please take a moment to stop and consider hitting that subscribe button and turning on the bell notifications as we post videos weekly about Helium, about Deeper, about Algo. I got an interesting scam video coming out shortly, and of course we will be talking about the Aware Elements and the Planet Network here in the near future. As a quick reminder, tomorrow night, September 22nd, if you're in the area, we are having a meetup event for the first time ever. It's kind of like a trial and error run at PaddyWagon Irish Pub from 8 p.m. till about 10 p.m. or so. There will be a nerdy beer on draft where you can get a discount. It will be the Wicked Wheat Coastal Love IPA. If you're in the area or it's, a little tiny drive for you, I would be cool if you guys want to stop by. We're going to bring our laptop, and just like you see our live streams every Monday, we are going to do some Helium network placement, advice, setup, talk, all that stuff. So it'd be really cool to see you guys out there if you can make it. The purpose of today's video is not to throw shade at anyone in particular, but there's a lot of misinformation or false streams that are being put out there on YouTube in regards to the Deeper network. Now, I originally was not going to get into this platform or this mining operation just because I felt it was a little too complicated in the initial setup and the requirements to build a credit score, which we'll talk about here in a moment. But really, once you get everything set up and going, it is a true just plug and play, leave it be, set it and forget it type operation. It's actually less of a struggle than with Helium, or I'm hoping that Aware Element and Planet Watch will come out and prove me wrong that that will be the easiest thing to go. But once I got everything done, I went through 2 days of solid headaches and issues that I'm going to share with you today, so hopefully you don't have to. But now I have just been setting it and leaving it, not even touching it, not even thinking about it, and it's been fairly decent, and I'm excited for it. But we're going to go over numbers and ROI possibilities and break-even points to really give a good, realistic idea of what this project entails versus the dream that you were seeing when you look at clickbait that says make $700 a week mining Helium or mining Deeper, make $10,000 a month mining Deeper. I don't see where those numbers are possible. So let's go ahead and take a look at some stuff on the computer here. Let's talk about my setup and how much we've staked, and I'm going to break it down as much as possible. So take notes or go back and rewatch this video a few times from this point forward. Let's flip over. All right, so we're looking at the price of Deeper, which is currently sitting at 11 cents, just shy of 12 cents. It is currently being traded on MEXC, and we're looking at it's sitting at 12 cents at the moment. The reason why I wanted to bring this up first is because I wanted to talk about the maximum potential earnings that you can make with Deeper on a single miner, on a single network, and the maximum amount of investment you have to put into it. So that way, some of these numbers that you see on other YouTubers aren't a full-blown exaggeration, but they're just not feasible. So right now, with the token being traded at roughly 12 cents, if you wanted to get the maximum amount of staking, and all this will make sense here in a moment, you would need to invest or you would need to acquire 100,000 DPR tokens and stake them for 9 months at right now the cost of, let's say, 12 cents, and that is currently going to earn you $20 a day, about $20 a day, $590 a month, $7,200 a year. Now, how much is that investment going to be? So if we're looking at 100,000 DPR at 12 cents a pop, you would need to do a $12,000 investment on top of acquiring a miner to see those kinds of numbers. Now, what exactly does that mean? Let's rewind this all the way back here. So The little device, the little DPR device is a miner, right? This is a little device that you plug into your modem router. We'll do a setup here on the screen. I'll show you my setup and the issues I had. And what happens is you run your connection through it. It is a VPN, so it's essentially a free VPN if that's something you guys want, which is awesome. It's a free VPN service that also gives you the opportunity to earn cryptocurrency as well by shaving off some of your bandwidth and then sharing that out into the multiverse. Let's go ahead and look at my DP. So right here, I have my setup here, and you can see that I have some bandwidth being shaved off and shared out across the board. We could pull up my little miner right here and go to my transactions, and you can see, and we'll show you what my breakdown is here in just a moment, that let's just go to my wallet balance. Let's just do that, wallet balance. You can see that my Deeper Mini currently has 97 DPR tokens in there, and we're gonna come back to this screen here in just a moment. So what you need to do is as of right now, you have to have one of these devices, whether it's the Mini, the Nano, or if you were in the beginning in the Genesis and stuff like that, which we're not gonna go into, in order to be able to stake DPR tokens and mine DPR tokens. You have to have one of these devices. Now, once you have one of those devices, you can do one of few things. This is called a proof of credit type mining scenario, where you have to have a certain credit score to earn tokens. Now, you can go into this with only purchasing one of the devices and not purchasing any DPR, not staking any DPR, and you can grow your credit score just by sharing out your bandwidth. And as of right now, to get yourself into a position of being able to mine with a high enough credit score, it is going to take you 200 days. So if you buy this device for about $500 and then you were expecting to go ahead and start mining, it's going to take you 200 days to get up to the first qualifying credit score to go ahead and mine. Now, if you just set it and turn it on and plug it in and go, then you will also have to wait about a month for this device to be added to the blockchain. Or you do have the opportunity to acquire 1,000 DPR tokens, which I would recommend doing on MEXC. Link is in the description for that instead of going through Uniswap, because fees are ridiculous. But you can acquire 1,000 DPR tokens and then stake them for 9 months. And then that will fast track your device to get into building that credit score organically without jumping any lines. And then after 200 days, you're now going to be at a credit score of 100. So after 200 days, if you go from ground zero, and let's say you have 1,000 DPR that you stake to get ahead of that waiting list, you do get those DPR tokens back, by the way. After 9 months, you do have the opportunity to get those 1,000 tokens back. This is going to play, and unstaking your tokens will play another factor here in just a moment. So after you have your miner going, you have mined for 200 days, you are now at a credit score of 100. That puts you at the basic, because right now we're on the mainnet, we're all the basic users. We're not in phase 1, we're not in phase 2, because none of us got the Genesis miners. If you did, sound off in the comments below, but none of us got those because we didn't stake and get a free miner sent out to us, right? So after 200 days, you're going to have a credit score of 100, and that's going to give you the first tier of being able to mine. So you'll be then at that point mining 2.74 deeper a day, which is 33 cents. After a month, you'll be mining 82 deeper, which is about just shy of $10. And over a year, you'll be mining 1,000 deeper, which is $120 at the moment. And every single 200 days, you will then be increasing your credit score by the next tier. So again, it's going to take 200 days to get yourself qualified to get into the first credit score that's going to allow you to mine. And then every 200 days that you're mining, that you have your deeper network device putting out the bandwidth required, you're going to be continuously organically growing your credit score, and that's level 1. Now, if you want to skip ahead and you want to start mining immediately, what I did is I purchased 21,000 DPR tokens. So we'll just skip to my tier. I purchased 21,000 DPR tokens, and I have staked them for 9 months. And what that does, and I did the 20,000 for the tier, and then I did 1,000 to get my miner onto the blockchain a lot quicker to get mining and get going. So what that is netting me right now is 19.18 DPR. It's $2.30 a day, 574 DPR a month, 7,000 DPR a year, or $840 a year. So we are going to break even on the cost of our miner within half a year, which is really solid. And then remember, 200 days from now, actually 193 days from now, I will then be able to bump myself up. I will then be bumped up into the next credit score and will be getting a little bit more DPR for that.
Now, those tokens are locked up for 9 months. My 21,000 tokens are locked up for 9 months. After 9 months, I have the opportunity to collect them back and do whatever I want with them, or I have the opportunity to leave them. The one reason why I didn't mind locking up for 9 months is because that's giving me forced diamond hands. I have no opportunity to unstake those tokens until the end of their 9-month phase, and hopefully that price jumps up like the Helium network, and I'm a millionaire and I'm done. See you later. But after 9 months, so 9 months will be, I think 9 months will jump our credit score up to, wait, how many, do math. 9 months is what, 180 days? No, I'm stupid. 30 times 9 equals 270 days. So in 200 days, my credit score will be bumped up to tier 4. I'll be making that much. And I don't have the 3,000 DPR staked. It's just the organic credit that I have been earning because I started at tier 3. Now, 70 days later, what's going to happen after 70 days, I will then be able to unstake my tokens. And if I do, I'm then going to fall back 3. So I started at tier 3, went up 1. I'm going to be falling back to tier 1. Actually, I'll be falling back to tier 1 because I'll be at 3. And then we go up to 4. So baseline 0, then 1. So we'll be at, right? Does that make sense? So yeah, if my credit score is at 400, subtract 300, my credit score will then be at 100, and then my earnings will then drop down to the tier 1 phase, but I'll have my 21,000 tokens that I can sell or do whatever, and then I'll be in a true mining phase. We've already paid off our broke even point for the miner. We've got our 21,000 tokens back. We sold them because they went up to $5 a piece or so on, or they went up to $20 a piece, so on and so forth. Or I can leave them, and every 200 days, I can build myself up organically into the next credit spot until we get all the way up to level 8, which is 800 credit score, and that's when we're getting $20 a day, $600 a month, $7,200 a year. And then at any point when I pull out my 21,000 tokens, we're going to drop back 3 tier spots. Just keep that in mind. So that's how the staking and the mining works. There's right now not an opportunity just to stake tokens and earn more tokens on top of your stake. The only way you can earn more tokens is by staking in that proof of credit and then earning them on your device. So we can go take a look at my device here. You see that I have 97 tokens in my DPR device balance. You see right here my credit score is 300, and you see that I'm sharing about 20 megabytes a day, which the minimum is 10 megabits a day, and you do that every 2 days, you get 1 point towards your credit score. We have been, let's see here, we're going to go to our transactions, PCR rewards. So every 2 days, we're earning 1 point towards our credit score. So we're going to have at 301, 302. So tomorrow, we'll be at a credit score of 303 because we've been mining this for 6 days, and we've been sharing those megabits, and that's how we're organically increasing our credit score. So that is the meat and potatoes of the mining and the staking, and that's the one thing that I really wish I jumped in even more before I got into everything, just to really understand, because I do know that they are working on an actual base staking program that you don't have to have one of the miners to earn the rewards for staking, because as of right now, there's no attraction to just stake the token. You just kind of want to hold it and hope it jumps back up in price, back up to 15, 16, 17 cents, $1, $2, $3, or $4. So we're just really, really, really hoping for that. Now, in regards to setting up your device, I've made this beautiful little Microsoft Paint screen, and I want to talk about the problems that I had the other day because that video ran too long, and I was about 4 beers deep, and I was having major issues. So, on top of that, pause, rewind, let's go back. If you do decide to get into the staking, and I had another issue where I was going into my MetaMask and the gas fees were astronomical, do not go into the staking during busy hours of the day. I got on at 11:30 at night my time, and I looked at the traffic on the Ethereum network, and I saw that the Gwei prices were about 52. And when I was originally doing it, they were like 268. So it was trying to charge me like $175 to stake my 21,000 tokens. I managed to get my tokens staked for about $35 just for waiting for the right time to stake. And we can do that on a different video, different transaction. I could show you how to do that if you have issues, or just talk to me on Telegram, Twitter, or Discord. Now, the setup that I was having an issue with, and another thing that was driving me nuts, is I have my router, which is from my modem, which is from Spectrum, which is, let's get a pen here. We want it nice and chunky. We'll just draw like this. So we want to then decrease our size. All right, so we've got Spectrum as our internet, and that's our modem. Then we connected to our DPN Mini, and then we connected our, well, just do it like this. So that's our internet, and then we connected our Mini into our Nighthawk, our Netgear Nighthawk. Very important I mentioned that because that is the modem, that was the router that I was using, and then the router was sending out Wi-Fi and internet to my devices, my PlayStation, my laptop, my wife's laptop, my smart TVs, my phones, and all that stuff. Now, what you need to do if you want to access your miner the way we just did on screen is you need to have a computer that's on that network, whether it's Wi-Fi or it's actually Ethernet connected or anything like that. As long as your DPN device is connected to your router and you have a computer or a device on that network, then you can access that screen, that admin screen that we saw where I showed you my transactions. Now, the problem is my Nighthawk, and I've seen this with other Nighthawks, was not putting out internet. And I was having an issue with that because, you know, we also have Helium miners on, we have a Helium miner on this network, and soon we will have an active mining element. So the issue I was having with that was I wasn't going to go into the settings and screw around with my Nighthawk just to get a DPN device approved because I didn't want to risk A, my internet being throttled, and B, my IP addresses and all that jazz being affected for my Helium miner out in the garage and attic and my Aware here. So what I ended up doing was a simple little fix where I then just took this, let me see, where's my grabber tool? I removed my DPN device out from here, and then I just connected that there, and then we put this here, and we put this here, and then we're gonna Control C and Control V that, and then we did this. So let's go back to our brushes. Let's go back to the nice chunky boy. Is that chunky enough? That should be chunky enough. We'll just drop it down here. One more chop. There we go. So we were running our internet from our modem into our router, and then we were running one of the ports of our router into our DPN device, our Mini, and then we were letting all of our other devices be connected on Wi-Fi that, you know, across the house or anything like that. So we'll just do it like this. And then we were running our Mini to one of our other computers, which is a laptop, which then I was told that the computer needs to be on 24/7 for this to be sharing the bandwidth and to be putting everything out there. I'm not going to do that. So what I ultimately finally kaput did is I went out and I bought a crappy cheap little TP-Link router device. I bought a crappy little, right on Amazon, just a couple of bucks. And so now I've got my router with port number 1 running out to my DPN Mini, and then I have my DPN Mini running to my little TP-Link device, which was really, really cheap. And I have now that, right now, I am actually connected to that network on my computer that I'm filming this video on versus normally on my Nighthawk, so that way I could show this on screen. And the reason why I also prefer doing this method instead of running this device through here is because, yes, this did throttle my internet. So I'm getting about 250 megabits a second down, and I'm getting about 22 to 25 up. When I did a speed test running through this device, I was getting about 60 to 70 down and about 11 to 12 up. And I just don't have the capacity for this device to be throttled that way because of all the other devices that are on my network. So I had no problem setting up a secondary Wi-Fi network with this crappy little device and let that be throttled, because the only reason why we're going to need this is so that way the DPN Mini can then do its megabit sending out and everything come back, and we don't even need to worry about the device being connected or turned on, which I do actually still have my work laptop connecting to that when I get on to do work in the morning and everything, just so that way it's there and I could check on it and go from there. So that was my setup and that was my headache, but I finally got everything run, and now I never need to touch anything. I can see the lights on each device. I know if the internet's coming in and out. I can connect on everything. So I can just go ahead and sleep soundly at night and not even get on this anymore. So anywho, that's going to do it for me today, guys. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me, Telegram, Twitter, or Discord. All of that is in the link of the description of this video. Otherwise, please consider subscribing and turning on that bell notification. Like, comment, thumbs up the video, all that good stuff. I'm Oprius, and we'll see you next time.